Hello everyone, this is CJNovo92 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video we have a little prediction, a little bit of team news and a little bit of a press conference recap. You put that all together and I have no idea where I was going with that at all. So let's actually just move on. You know by the deliciously clickbaity title, it's Rangers versus Hibs. There's going to be some sort of fireworks. But before we actually get into today's video though, just a friendly reminder in case you are new around here and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so and help the nation close the gap on 26k. Because it's been a tough battle, lads. But without any further ado, let's just dive into it then, shall we? 3, 2, 1. Hibs versus Rangers 7:45 kickoff, a cheeky Friday night game, which is actually going to be interesting and add a lot to the old backstory because it's just going to make Friday night even more exciting. In fact, I should probably change how I say Hibs from now on because I don't know if you've seen this yet, but the way that Daniel Candeas says Hibs is Hibs. And I don't know why it tickles me so. And not in a weird way, just a normal, fun way, okay? But anyway, back to the actual football. Whenever Rangers actually plays Hibs, it's always an exciting game, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be set for content for a few days, so that's great. But there is an interesting factor regarding this, or maybe a missing factor, and that will actually be Neil Lennon himself. That will be the first time that Gerrard's Rangers football team has played against Hibs without Neil Lennon being there. And he always added this kind of like spark to the overall tie because he hates Rangers with every fibre of his being, and he always used to have this sort of kill or be killed mentality whenever Rangers actually came around. So that will be missing, so I'm very curious to see how Hibs actually try and attack Glasgow Rangers. Will it be with the same like two-footing, get stuck in, screaming in Rangers players' faces that we've seen in the last couple of years, or will it be a different kind of Hibernian side? That is one of the most intriguing factors going into this actual game. But let's actually break down how both teams have actually been getting on then, and looking at the Hibs home form, as they're obviously playing at home. Their last two matches are actually kind of consistently split down the middle. They obviously had a 2-0 win versus Hamilton, one of their best performances under their new manager. They just looked like they were sharp and sliced Hamilton to bits. But then they followed that up with the 2-0 loss versus Celtic Football Club. Consistency. They're either winning 2-0 or they'll get beat 2-0 at home. However, on the Rangers side of things, which we like to stay and we would like to talk about, it actually stands at 1 win and 1 draw. Obviously the 1-1 disappointing performance versus Aberdeen in the Cup, which has obviously forced the replay, but before that the last away performance was a 5-0 thrashing of Hamilton, but a one-man team that won 5-0 away from home at official pitch without our one player. Tidy. However, when you actually compare their both performances, I think Rangers slightly edges it obviously with their away performances, and hopefully tomorrow they continue that waveform with picking up the 3 points and maybe a cheeky another 5-0. You know what? I'd take a 5-0. But unfortunately that really hasn't been the case whenever we have played Hibs this season. When you actually think back, they're one of the few teams that we have not bet so far this season. Both very disappointing draws. However, the last time that we played at Easter Road, we were absolutely fantastic. I know Gerrard talked obviously in his actual press conference, which you can find on the official Rangers YouTube channel. He said it was one of the best performances of the season. However, he would happily trade that best performance of the season for a worse performance and getting the actual 3 points. And I'm pretty sure every single person watching this video would do the damn same. Sorry to interrupt myself, but it wasn't just the media that praised Rangers' performance at Easter Road. Nah. There was actually a Hibs player came out and says Rangers' performance at Easter Road was one of the best that they've seen in years. Yeah, a Hibs player. Hibs player coming out. You can Neil Lennon's gone when Hibs players are coming out and giving Rangers praise. But that's us all done on the match preview. Let's jump to the injury and suspension list. Thankfully, there's no suspensions ahead of the Hibernian game, so everyone is available for selection. On. However, on the injury side of things, we obviously discussed that on my Twitter account earlier on in the week about Ryan Jack, because there was all these stories and headlines. Ryan Jack's in a protective boot. Ryan Jack's out for the season. He's broke his foot. Nah. BS. Lies. Ryan Jack was at the hospital as a precaution for a bruised foot, and it was just to double check on his actual scanning. Now, yes, it does technically still have a knock, and there's obviously a wee bit of an issue there, but it's nowhere near severe as the media or whoever it was that was saying all these stories about him breaking his foot actually was trying to make it out to be. But anyway, over to Ryan Jack, he is still technically listed as an injury doubt for the game because of the knock. There's a wee bit of back and forth with Gerrard saying he wants to obviously play him because he trusts him fully, and obviously his preference would be that he's able to play. However, he's got to manage it and make sure he doesn't obviously risk Ryan Jack, because there's a hell of a lot of good fixtures coming up and we need Ryan Jack in and amongst the squad. That's what Gerrard came out and basically said. So I want to ask you guys watching this video just now, what would you do with Ryan Jack? Would you risk him when he's maybe not at 100% just now? Maybe we'll get through training. You know, he's a tough SOB. He'll probably be ready to play for tomorrow's match. But would you risk him, or would you try and give him that game off? Maybe put him on the bench, bring him on if needed, and obviously keep him fresh for the revenge tie versus Aberdeen, and you can the fixtures that's coming after that. So obviously a question that Steven Gerrard is going to have to answer, so I thought it would be fun to ask you guys what you're thinking. My preference would be rest him versus Hibs, keep him for Aberdeen, because I'd rather have a fully fit Ryan Jack running, strolling the midfield at the Glasgow Rangers than a half-fit guy trying to battle his way through, because you know he would the next 3 or 4 key fixtures. But if we can give him a couple of days off to get him back closer to full fitness, I think that spells better for the Glasgow Rangers. But it wasn't just Ryan Jack that has recently joined the injury list. You obviously have Gareth McCauley, who hurt himself versus Livingston during an indoor friendly. He's hurt his hamstring. No other information was actually given, whether it's serious or not serious, if it's pulled, if it's strained, whatever. Gerrard doesn't know until the actual scans come in, but he's pretty much ruled out 100% for tomorrow's match versus Hibs. And last but not least, you obviously have Graham Dorrans and Jamie Murphy, who's still pretty long-term injuries, and they're still battling their way back to full fitness at the Rangers. Well, that is us all done and dusted. All that's left is for me and thee to get your fan predictions out there. How do you think the game's actually going to go? Me personally, I was going back and forth. I can really see maybe 1 goal being scored in the game, because it is going to be a tricky game. But I'm thinking under this new manager, I think they're a bit more expansive. Like, they try and play football a lot more, especially coming out at the back. They try and play some pretty stuff. And I think Rangers' aggression, if they really go for it, they'll pick them off. So I'm actually going to go with Rangers 2, Hibernian 1. I know I kind of built up like I was going to go really high there, but I still think a 2-1 win at Easter Road would actually be a pretty damn good result. As long as we get the 3 points, I don't care the score. But anyway, my goal scorers will be Alfredo Morelos, because you just have to pick him at this moment, because he's just red hot in form. And my second goal scorer may surprise a few, but I'm actually going to go with it. It's a bit cheeky. Joe Worrell again. That's right, back to back for haircutted king Joe Worrell. And on the Hibs side of things, to get their consolation goal, or maybe even their goal to start the game very, very well, I will go with Kambiri, because he always seems to put in a performance against the Glasgow Rangers. But that's us all done and dusted. All that's left is to have a little refreshment and hear from the people. So grab your refreshments, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Sponsor break. And if you're watching to this part of the video, I just want to know your thoughts on the actual green screen. Should we keep it for all the videos and obviously change the background up, or do we only use it for the career mode? Let me know your thoughts and opinions, because I really want the channel to be what you guys want it to be. Obviously, you're tuning in each and every single day, so let me know your thoughts on the old green screen. But anyway, we've got the poll now loaded up. Transition, smooth. It's got 718 votes in the hour that was up. Thank you so much for getting involved. 5% votes for Hibs, 5% votes for draw. 55, and 90% of the people votes for a Glasgow Rangers win. So let's hear from them, shall we? Alfredo at Ben RFC2 writes in Rangers 2-1, Morelos to score both. I like that, mate. I like that all day. Cairo writes in, hopefully Rangers are clinical this time in Leaf. If so, I'll say 3-1. Don't know our record on Friday night away games. Would be interesting to know. Thanks, Cairo. Made me look a right dick because I didn't ken it. Thanks. Thanks. This is just one take, Cairo. Appreciate that. Honestly. Philip Ewan McGregor writes in Rangers 3-1, Morelos, Kent and Ryan Jack to score the goal. Scott Young writes in 3-0 to the famous Morelos ×2 and a Tav penalty just for the giggles. Still looking for a ticket. Someone help me, please. Scott Young, well done. Just use the channel, son. That's it. That's it. David Laird writes in the famous to win 4-0. Alfie, Tav, Goldson and Kent to score. I'd take a 4-0. I would. Adam writes in 2-0 Rangers, Morelos and Kent to get the goals. Rebel Fox writes in, need to bounce back after the last game. 3-1 to Rangers, Morelos double, and the second scorer is the man, the myth, the legend, Lee Wallace. Honestly, I trust you guys, and this is how you repay me. Pedro writes in 3-1 Rangers, Morelos ×2 and Kent to score. Ali Stodder writes in 2-1 Morelos and Defoe to score. Malin to score for Hibs. I nearly said Milan there because I was watching. No, I wasn't watching it. It was just on TV, lads. Alistair McKenzie writes in 3-0 Rangers, Tav, Morelos and Kent with the goals. And the last 2 or 3 that we'll actually read it come from Daniel Gaffney, says 2-1 to Hibs, Tav Penn and Kabiri and McNulty. And the last one we'll actually read it comes from Bang! Comes from McGill, WATP. Going to be another hard watch, I think, but I can see us coming out 2-0 winning at the end of the match. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now, and if you don't mind hitting that like button, that'd be absolutely tremendous, as it helps other bears find the actual channel. And last but not least, I need to shout out the Patreons as well, those absolute legends, for all the support. Obviously the green screen, the cameras, the lighting, the mics are all because of those guys, so I can't thank them enough. If you'd like to join and support the channel, the link for that, as always, is down in the description below. But I've been CG Novo 92, thank you so much for watching. Really? The camera cuts off when I'm doing the outro? Are you kidding me? Anyway, thank you for watching and bye.